All right, good morning, good people. Listen here, we're going to talk about some issues regarding the concerns of the Filipina and the Westerner. What's their concerns in regards to this relationship situation? Well, actually, the Westerner, he has some serious concerns. Not saying that the Filipina doesn't have serious concerns, but he has some serious concerns whether or not his conception of this dream of this wanting to have a relationship with this Filipina and establish what he hears all the people are saying is what's a possibility once you establish this relationship if it's good. So he has fears that is that really true? Is it uh, just hearsay? Um, he see vloggers coming on YouTube and they're vlogging about relationships, but yet the person that they're with is a prostitute, um, and is paid for. They're paying to be with him. So he's concerned that can he really come here and have a serious relationship? you know and I just want to let you know that if you do all your homework, if you do everything that you're supposed to do, if you prepare, yeah, you're gonna find that person, okay, and you're gonna have a good relationship, and it's gonna be the dream that you've imagined all of these years. It's possible. It's definitely possible, okay. uh, just have a plan. Remember the red flags. Remember the things that you need to look out for uh, in order to make that relationship a success. And you're not just coming here for the relationship, you're coming here for the whole package, the Philippines. The relationship is part of it, okay? So don't get bogged down in that you got to have this relationship, okay? Because remember, you got pay to play. Okay, you got a lot of options. Remember your options. Okay, now the other thing is the Westerner is concerned about a long distance relationship. He's concerned that, well, if I if I go there, I meet her, we make love, everything. I fall in love with her, she falls in love with me. What's going to happen when I have to come back here and go to work? Okay, here's what I want to let you know is that a long distance relationship is challenging to say the least. Okay. The Filipina, 9 times out of 10, she met you online chatting. And so if you chatted her, don't think that somebody else is not willing to chat her or is chatting her. Okay. So now what has happened is that the Filipina has actually set up a time schedule. Okay. So if you say you're coming to visit in July, okay, so July and August, she will have that with all her other chatmates. She will cross that off as a date of someone else possibly coming to visit her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. When you come to visit her, okay, and you leave, yeah, she's going to have another date set up. Why? Because she don't know if your commitment to her is legit, if it's sincere, if it's honest, if it's something that's going to be ongoing, or if you just came there to have fun. And what she's looking for is a long term commitment. She's looking for marriage. Okay? So, what's going to happen? 9 times out of 10, when you come here, okay, you're going to have a good time and you're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to get the oil change. Everything's going to be lovely. And you're going to go back to the States. You're going to continue to chat her, whatever. And she's going to continue to chat other people. So in the meantime, she knows that maybe 6 months to a year, you're not coming back. So if another chatmate says, hey, I'd like to come visit you, she's going to say, why not? Sure, come on. Because you got to remember, for her, it's she doesn't know if you're ever going to come back really or not. Now, there is a scenario by which she can be at some point totally committed to you. Okay. That's why I say a long distance relationship is challenging, simply because you're going to have to be able to establish that type of rapport, that type of relationship that's going to have her committed to you, and that she's not chatting and seeing other men. But 99% of the time, that's going to be what you got. Okay. Now, there are exceptions, okay? So, what I'm saying is, if you're a person who is years away from um, being able to come to the Philippines, to settle in the Philippines, or you're not sure about, you know, the Philippines as a place where you want to settle down, when you come, don't plan on the person that you meet is your fiance, is your girlfriend. She's just a date. In reality, she's just a date. Why is that? Because she really is not committed to you. You're going to be more committed to her than she is to you. She's not committed to you. Okay, and you'll see that. You'll find that to be the case. Okay, but what you have to do is, if you have intentions on her, then you have to establish that relationship. You have to build that relationship to what you want it to be. Uh, so the main concern is, when you come to visit her, it's going to be a long distance relationship. What I'm advising you is treat it as just a date. That's all. Nothing more. Don't come here on your first visit and get married. That's absolutely something that you don't want to do. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? Come here. When you visit, it's a date. I mean, you know, some people may think that that's, you know, improper, that that's not right, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is, from everything that, you know, that is going on, what you see is that she's not committed. And you can't ask her to be committed because you're back in the States. And you don't, it, it's long distance relationship. So long distance relationship is another whole story. But I'm just letting you know that, what's the fears? The fears of a long distance relationship. The way to avoid the fears of a long distance relationship is, when you come, establish that visit as just a date, not a relationship. Because she actually is not in a relationship with you. Okay? Uh, the other thing is, the the Westerner, he fears that there may be a language communication problem. Well, that fear is on both sides, the Filipino as well as the Westerner. Fear about the language, but most Filipinas, they speak English, and they speak English well enough that you can communicate, they can understand you, you can understand them. Okay, so the the language, I'm going to say, is not a real big barrier. And the other thing is, if their English is not that good, remember, they learn English as another language, but they don't speak it on a regular basis, perhaps. So they're not that good in speaking it. They're shy to attempt to speak it, but they can understand what you're saying. Okay, so the more comfortable the person gets with you, the more their English will improve. So don't too much have uh, concern about whether the Filipina English is good enough. Just play it by ear, okay? And the Filipina, all you need to do is have confidence, get trust in the person that you're visiting, and go ahead and use your English that you know, practice it, try to communicate in the English, okay? And the English won't be a concern. The other concern on the Filipinas end is that she's concerned about the size of the penis. A lot of Filipinas, they hear from other Filipinas that the Westerner came there and his penis was enormous. She was afraid. She was scared. She just backed out of the whole deal. Some of them will, you know, once they once they get a look at it, they'll back out. That no, you're not putting that in me. So what you got to do is you got to be a lover. You got to be uh, someone who preps her, who explains to her, talk to her, get her prepared, and let her know that if a baby come out of there, this can come up in there. You see, so in basic terms, it's your communication to eliminate her fear about the size of the penis. Okay, so you got to communicate that, and what you need to do is you need to find out if she has that fear. Okay, and you can find out if she got that fear is that she may make some hints about it, or she may make some suggestions that you know she don't want to give you an oil change because of it, or something like that. So then, what you got to do is you got to talk. You got to explain to her. You got to let her know that hey, a baby comes out of that same hole. And the baby is 10 times bigger than this, et cetera, et cetera. So that way you can eliminate that fear that the Filipina has in regards to the penis. The other issue the Filipina has is that, you know, she's afraid that you're gonna come and then you're just gonna leave. It's gonna be a one night stand. Now, if that's your intentions, you need to let that be known up front. Okay, don't let it linger as if you're gonna stay with her, you're going to continue the relationship, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if she has a fear that you're going to leave and you're not going to be around, et cetera, that's a strong indicator that this could be a long distance relationship that could work out positive. Okay, so that's something to look for as it's being a negative, but it's actually a positive if your intentions is a long distance relationship. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to pay attention to what she's saying and then act on it. Okay, the Filipina, she she wants, first of all, she wants to marry. Okay, so I'm suggesting to you on your first visit, definitely you don't marry. Okay? The concern about the relationship is just that. She wants to marry. She wants to have someone to take care of her, to protect her, the whole 9 yards. Now, you can be that person, okay? No doubt. However, it has some hindrance as far as your availability. Okay, so you have to be fair and honest. You have to let her know, you know, um, that what your potential for marriage is. Okay, and the Westerner, he has some concerns about marriage, love, that whole package, because he wants to know, is she married? Has she been married? Is he going to pay thousands of dollars to get a divorce for her? Uh, he has concerns about that, which are legitimate, So the Filipina, she needs to let them know honestly if she's ever been married, because what's going to happen is if he petitions her to come to the West, well, it's going to come out, you see, and then everything's going to go up in smoke that, you were married. And now not only you were married, but now you're a liar because you didn't tell him that you were married before. And you still are because you haven't gotten a divorce. And if he wants you to come to the West, he's got to pay for this divorce, which is going to cost him thousands of dollars, which is something that he may not be willing to do. So you need to let him know up front about this marriage deal, okay? So that's a concern on both parts, the Filipina and the Westerner, you see? And one thing for sure and two for certain, it's said that the Filipino will fall in love fast. Then they say, well, the Filipino won't fall in love for a long time. It'll be a long time before she actually falls in love. Well, both cases, both scenarios are true. Okay? Both scenarios are true. Um, if she's really smitten with you and she really is interested in this situation and she wants to make it work, she'll fall in love with you. Okay? She will. She'll fall in love with you on the first visit. She'll fall in love with you. So you need to be aware of that, and you need to be able to read the signs and know what you're working with. Okay? And if you're working with someone who has the capability of falling in love with you on the first visit and truly be falling in love with you, then that's what you want, then you need to act on it. Okay? So that means you need to develop the long distance relationship accordingly. Okay? Not saying that you need to throw caution to the wind, but all in all, you have something to work with. It's not like you got one that's not going to fall in love because she's saying, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to ever come back. I don't know if this is this and what is what. And she's off to the next chat session. Okay. Uh, those girls are uh, opportunists. Uh, they they deal in the reality that um, they're out to accomplish what it is they're out to accomplish. That is, they want someone there with them. Okay, they're working their Filipino hustle. Okay, and you can't fault them for working their hustle. All right, but on the same token, if you can establish a long distance relationship, a sincere long distance relationship, it's 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 worth it. Okay, so those are some of the fears Filipina has, some of the fears that the Westerner has, and what you can do about those fears. Okay, don't let your fears hinder your trip. Work your fears into your choices and options of what you can do. Remember, when you come into the Philippines, you're not just coming to the Philippines for a Filipino. Okay, you're coming to the Philippines for the Philippines, the people, the everything, the whole package. Okay, don't limit yourself to just coming to the Philippines for the Filipino. Okay, because trust and believe me, there's a lot of Filipinas here. All you got to do is get here. Okay, and as you travel through the Philippines, the love you met in Cebu, you can find one just as comparable or more so in Glen, in Sarangani, in General Santos. Um, you see, in Cebu, you can find this. You can find them all over. Isulan, you can find them all over. You just need to get here, travel around, and, you know, like I said, work your options. Once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. This is a free channel. Don't cost you nothing to subscribe. Leave your comments. Hit that button. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever one you feel. If you give me a thumbs down, at least tell me why. Tell me why you don't like it. The Filipinos, if you disagree with what I'm saying, let me hear from you. Let's talk about it. Okay? And I want to know from all of the people who view this, tell me if you think we need to have a live chat session. I'm really curious, trying to get some of my Filipinas and Filipinos on a live chat session so that they can express their viewpoints. Why? Because I want the Westerners to hear what the Filipinos got to say. You know, that's important. So if you're Filipina and you hear this, you're Filipino and you hear this, leave a comment. Let me know if you want to have a live chat so that we can put some media out there, letting them know what the Filipina opinion is. So that when you start meeting these Westerners and they know from a Filipina what to expect. Okay? That's what I want to try to get out there. And I want the Filipina to be able to make it easy for her so she makes the Westerner aware of what you expect. Okay? Listen, one thing for sure and two for certain. When you help other people, you're really just helping yourself. So if there's anything you can do to help somebody, do it because it's going to pay off in the long run. God bless. Take care.